Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Martin. The Columbus Police Department staff is down 3 officers. After tonight's City Council meeting, the board accepted letters of resignation from 2 officers and voted to terminate another. Quentin Smith was there. He now joins us live in the studio with more on what went on. Hey, Quentin.
Yes, Scott. In a lengthy executive session, the board took up a total of 5 personnel matters, 4 being with the Columbus Police Department and the other being with the Parks and Rec. And the board voted to fire a CPD officer for conduct unbecoming an officer. Now, you may remember, it was on Friday when we first reported that a Columbus police officer has been suspended without pay and is being investigated by the West Point Police Department. Now, at this time, that officer's name still has not been released, and Columbus Mayor Robert Smith would not confirm if the officer that's terminated is the same officer involved in the incident. However, the mayor does say he stands behind the chief's decision on the issue.
Chief always states that after the mayor and the council voted him in as the chief of police for the city of Columbus, he has stated repeatedly that he wanted the department to be efficient, effective, and proactive. And I think the chief is doing a good job.
Now, I do want to point out, West Point Police Chief Avery Cook says the officer who's being investigated has not been charged with anything. The investigation is still ongoing. Scott?
All right, thanks, Quentin. And in Winona, the Board of Aldermen was also in session tonight. Among the agenda items, the possibility of getting a little more use out of the city jail. There's been an interest in moving some of the state inmates housed at the Montgomery County Jail to the city facility, but for some, those numbers didn't add up. The new residence would require additional jail staff, plus the cost of housing the inmates. After some discussion, aldermen took no action. A new legislative watchdog report is shedding light on how the state got into the bridge crisis. It's also offering ideas on how to prevent another crisis in the future. We're talking about the peer report, which fills in a lot of the gaps about the feds coming in, but it also looks to the future with ideas on what needs to be done moving forward. Courtney Ann Jackson has the breakdown.
County bridges are typically inspected by county engineers. The peer report says they usually get paid around $350 to $480 per bridge inspection. But the federal action plan required the state to hire independent consultants for those inspections. The estimate on how much taxpayers are paying for them? $10,500 per bridge. It's money well spent, according to MDOT's executive director.
Yes, we are spending more now on the inspections than we were. But the inspections they were doing were inadequate. It wasn't accordance to federal law.
And that means public safety was in jeopardy.
So if we spend an extra couple of $1 million more than we were spending, but it saves a life, is it worth it? To me, it's worth it.
MDOT Executive Director Melinda McGrath thought there was a missing piece to the peer report. She wanted to see a recommendation about enforcement at the local level.
I was a little disappointed when it came to the local bridge component. These trucks are that the local officials are not stopping and enforcing that weight limit. They are expediting when that bridge is going to go out of service and be closed.
Peer committee member Senator Terry Burton agrees that there are lessons to be learned.
The action that comes out of this is train the county engineers. That's the #1 thing, to make sure that they know the criteria that the feds are looking for and don't put our federal dollars at risk.
The report suggests the Office of State Aid Roads provide training for the county engineers so they'll be ready to take over inspections again after year 2 of the federal action plan.
Well, time now to get a first look at our forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Hey there, Jacob.
Hey, Scott. Nice night to get a look at the star and the moon here. This is going to be the moon off in the sky. This is Venus here. The next 2 nights just after sunset, head outside and take a look. You get to see those 2 objects really close to each other. Tina sending that picture in. Very clear night here. Just a few clouds rolling in, but we're going to enjoy mostly clear night for us here. Temperatures will be heading from where they are now in those 60s and 70s down into the 50s. We'll have more coming up here in just a bit. Scott.
All right, thank you very much, Jacob. Well, farming is one of the biggest businesses in Mississippi, and it's also one of the 10 most dangerous jobs in the U.S. And a variety of equipment can create some unusual emergency situations. That's why some North Mississippi farmers were getting some specialized training. Our Victoria Bailey has more.
You can create a problem that was avoidable if you knew that, if you had the education.
Which is exactly what the Mississippi State University Extension Service is providing.
We're working with Farm Bureau here, our County Farm Bureau, to team with them to do these trainings on grain bin safety and grain bin rescue. And it's something we feel is really important for our growers and our first responders.
Grain bins are a necessity for many farmers.
It's a time saving to get their crops out of the fields faster and not have to endure the long lines. Plus, it's a pricing thing. Usually you can sell your crops later in the year and make more money.
If a farmer or worker falls inside the bin, getting them out can be tricky and take time.
But if they happen to break through, the more you work with them and fight, they can get deeper and just keep sinking.
Now, Calhoun County farmers are learning what to do when someone gets trapped inside. It's a training session many believe are getting more necessary every day.
You know, different farmers have put up more and more bins, and so therefore this training is trying to help save a life if someone gets in and gets trapped in a bin. And so the more awareness you have of what to do and what not to do especially is better, you know, to try to save a life.
And Calhoun County purchased grain bin rescue equipment.
And we hope that equipment will never be used, but we've already had one situation in our county where it proved to be life-saving.
Now, today's workshop was made possible by a grant to the Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation. Some sad news tonight coming from the Bush family. Former First Lady Barbara Bush passed away today. She was 92. Mrs. Bush was one of only 2 First Ladies who was also the mother of a president. The Bushes were married in 1945. They had 6 children and were married longer than any presidential couple in American history.
First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Really getting to enjoy our Alpha Insurance Skycam network in Columbus, Tupelo, Louisville, and Vernon. Seeing some nice weather across the air, calm weather. Nice to have that here in the region for us coming forward here, especially for that busy weekend we had. Right now across the area, those temperatures are down in the 60s, still at 70 in Oxford, seeing 64 in Winona, 61 in Starkville. These temperatures are still a good 15 to 20 degrees, if not more, where we were this time yesterday. We had those temperatures down in the 40s and 50s already, starting a chilly night. Tonight, not expecting that to be the case. We'll get our temperatures to fall into the low to mid 50s. Still a bit breezy out there. I think those winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15 miles an hour, with some gusts at time up to 20, but mild and clear. Overall, not a bad Tuesday night for us. Tomorrow, we warm things up quickly yet again. Lunchtime, if you haven't made plans yet, make it outside and try and head to the local restaurant that has that outdoor seating. It will be nice, but if you can avoid the wind, maybe get in that side of the building that's away from that. Winds will be out of the south and west from, say, about 10 to 20 miles an hour, gust up to 30 yet again. We keep those warm temperatures heading for the upper 70s and even low 80s. Columbus, 82 tomorrow, 83 in Macon, DeKalb up to 85. We've got 80 in Starkville and West Point. A little cooler over towards I-55, still the mid to upper 70s. A little cooler up here in Tupelo too, 76 for our highs, 77 in Amory and Aberdeen, 75 in Bruce and Calhoun City for our Wednesday. Another warm spring-like Wednesday for us in West Alabama, 81 in Fayette, 82 in Reform. Vernon, good evening to you. We'll get up to 80 for our Wednesday. Now, as that happens, a cold front will approach our region Wednesday afternoon and evening. In the morning and the afternoon, we'll start to see some clouds off to the north and west. Where we get the sunshine here, that's why we get to the 80s, mid to upper 70s, where those clouds move in early. That will continue to shift off to the south and east. Notice we're picking up on a few isolated showers or sprinkles. We could see a quick shower tomorrow through tomorrow night, but it will be not much more than a trace of an inch, and they will quickly push on through. After that front passes through the cooler air behind that there, temperatures then going from the 80s on Wednesday down into the upper 60s on Thursday, and with that north wind, it will be back to feeling a bit chilly. 70s, though, as we round out into the weekend before yet again another storm system, another cold front heading in our direction Sunday into Monday, maybe even late Saturday night, but Sunday for sure. Showers across the board here as that pushes on through, keeping some showery weather and that cooler air to start our work week next week, ushering in some north winds here, which will bring temperatures yet again into those 60s And that extended outlook for the next 6 to 10 days confirms that the darker the blue shading, the higher probabilities for cooler air. Yet indeed, we'll be ending April here on a bit of a chilly note, it looks like. So enjoy the warmth tomorrow in those 80s, still upper 60s, low 70s to round out the work week. Showers start Monday, keeping that showery weather and some storms Monday into Tuesday. Scott?
Well, students at Columbus Middle School get a lesson in perseverance and patriotism. The commemorative Air Force Red Tail Squadron presented the short film Rise Above. The story follows the Tuskegee Airmen and the obstacles that they overcame to fly and fight for their country during World War II. Students and visitors had the opportunity to learn the history of the Red Tails through a fully functional mobile movie theater. It wasn't just for the students it wasn't just the students that were impressed.
It's a great educational experience for the students to where they can learn about the Red Tail experience, and it's a great partnership between the City of Columbus, the Lowndes County School District, and we were just ecstatic about it, and we was happy that we could partner for this educational experience.
The commemorative exhibit visits Caledonia Middle School on Thursday.
The town of Smithville has just opened a building they haven't had since 2011. Find out what coming up.
Welcome back, everyone. It's what people in the small town of Smithville have waited for 7 years. The only grocery store in town. It closed after the 2011 tornado, but all of that was changed as of Monday. Our Parker King took the grand tour.
For many cities, seeing people check out at the grocery line is a normal sight. For Smithville residents, it's something they haven't seen since 2011, after an EF5 tornado damaged their grocery store beyond repair.
We have needed a place where we can go and get ground beef and vegetables and fruit.
But as of yesterday, residents only have to drive down the street to their new discount grocery and variety store. And everyone seems to be excited.
We're just tickled to death for it. I've been telling everybody I see we got a grocery store coming.
Residents were having to drive to either Amory or Fulton for their groceries.
We have a roster of eldest people here that maybe not able to drive. Last time, maybe if you were going to fix lunch or dinner or whatever, and you need some potatoes or a tomato, you had to drive to Amory or Fulton one to pick it up. And we will have that here.
Along with canned foods, frozen foods, and the various items you find in your larger grocery stores, Smithville now has something for the whole town to take pride in, and they're spreading the word.
We put their little flyer up yesterday, and just overnight we've had 7,000 views, and so everybody's excited for us. We had some of our disaster recovery people from FEMA comment on it, saying excellent economic development, and so a lot of people are excited for Smithville.
Now, business has been brisk. The store sold out of meat yesterday, and the owner says that he had to triple his original order. Well, baseball highlights from the area are at Heritage Academy in Caledonia, plus a recap of Sunny Day, Mississippi. Robbie has all that next in sports.
CBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
High school baseball playoffs are right around the corner as teams get settled into their seeds and spots to begin postseason play. Tonight, another opportunity to get the gears rolling for playoff action. We start at Heritage Academy. The Patriots hosting the other Patriots from Winston Academy. As today, Heritage hosted members of the Special Olympics of Area 6 here in Mississippi. You see Mr. Stan right there in the maroon. He threw out the first pitch and did a tremendous job tossing the strike right there. I love it. As the guys and girls from Special Olympics enjoyed their time today at the baseball game. And also the Heritage players having a great time as well. Stan breaking down the pregame huddle. Really cool. Kids did a great job. Coaches, players, parents, fantastic. Awesome job, Heritage. Down to the action. Bottom one, Heritage getting going early. Banks high, drilly one to the gap in right center. That would put runners in scoring position with no outs for the Heritage Patriots. And next up, Blaze Berry, your starting pitcher, going to help his own cause. Base knocked back up the box. That would score Carter Putt as Heritage leads 3-0 after one. Top two, Winston would have the answer, though. Luke Bigham going to lift one into right. That would be deep enough for a sacrifice fly, scoring Aiden Fancher. You may remember that name. We featured him for that Starkville Little Leaguers team that played in the Texas Regional. Yeah, he's at Winston now. It's a 3-1 game. Berry would settle it on the mound after that, getting the strikeout, looking to end the threat in the second. Heritage gets the game one win, 11-1. They would take the game two as well in the doubleheader, 13-3. To Caledonia for some baseball, facing Louisville, bottom two. Feds have the lead. Runner on second for Cade Stacy, going to rip a liner to center. It would get in for a base hit. Sawyer Brown rounding third. You saw him right there. He's coming around with a purpose. That would extend the Caledonia lead to 9-0. Still in the inning, bases are loaded for Wesley Honeycutt, and this one just going to dribble around in the infield. That would score Jadarius Gore and Seth Brown. That would make it 14-0 Caledonia. And then Caledonia's Bo Bates was rolling on the mound, getting strikeouts here as the Feds cruise to a 15-0 win over Louisville in 3 innings. All right, to the signing day circuit. It was a busy signing day in our viewing area with a number of student athletes taking the next step in their athletic journeys. We start first at Starkville as Kirsten Thompson signed to continue her basketball career at Mississippi College. She averaged 7 points, 8 rebounds, 2.5 blocks per game this past year, and she's a big part of that back-to-back state championship run for the Lady Jackets. Congratulations to Kirsten on signing with Mississippi College. At Tupelo, Javon Humphrey made the next step in his basketball journey today as the star senior signed with Motlow State Community College. That's in Lynchburg, Tennessee. The 6'5" guard helped lead the way to the first round of the playoffs last season and a 20-10 overall record. At New Hope, Alicia Jennings made it official on Tuesday. She signed to continue her basketball career at EMCC. She averaged 11 points per game as a senior, really came into her own, starting off as a freshman, now as a senior. She's expected to be a primary ball handler for the Lady Lions when she joins Scuba Tech coming up this fall. To Louisville, it's a dream come true for Keandre Bowler as he continued his baseball career at East Central Community College, signing today. Bowler has done a little bit of everything for the Wildcats in his 4 years playing varsity ball. He's one of the top pitchers, but also he played infield for the Wildcats. He's sort of willing to do just about anything. Also, one of his family members was at the signing via FaceTime. You saw him on the phone there. That's pretty cool. The wonders of modern technology. Congratulations to Keandre on signing on his big day. And at Columbus Christian this morning, Chris Weber signed to continue his cross-country career at Mississippi College during his time at CCA. Weber has won 3 cross-country state championships and 1 track state title. He held other college offers, but wants to become a coach and a teacher when he graduates, and he'll get to do that at MC. Congratulations to Chris. There's all of our signings from today. And in golf, Braden Thornberry on fire in the second and third rounds of the Old Waverly Collegiate Championship stage. The Ole Miss golfer was your medalist for the event, carding a 3-round 204. That finishes him at 12 under, 5 shots better than the second place finisher. LSU won the team event with a 9 under total. Ole Miss finished in third. Mississippi State finished in fourth as a team with Garrett Johnson pacing the team, finishing the tie for fifth, 2 under. Bruce grad Cameron Clark bounced back after day one, finishing a tie for 37th. For Mississippi State, Tupelo grad Austin Rose finished in a tie for 57th. And the North Mississippi Classic coming up from Oxford. That will start on Thursday. We'll have a little more on that leading up to the first round of the event coming up later this week. That is it for sports. We're going to last look at your forecast next.
More beautiful sunshine and warm weather for our Wednesday. Get some clouds into the afternoon, and you maybe get a sprinkle, but don't really think we'll see much from that. That cold front, though, brings a little bit chillier air Thursday. Still upper 60s is what I'm thinking, but when you go from the 80s to the upper 60s with a little north wind, that will feel just a little cooler. And then some rain coming in for the weekend, so
at least we
can't
got
keep
that,
spring around for long.
At least we got that 82 tomorrow.
There you go.
Thank goodness. All right, thanks, Jacob. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.